Hello, this is Justin, the Ozarks gardener. This is my first video, so I thought I'd give you a tour of my new garden. My wife and I just moved into this house in December, and it is now February, middle of February, and I've got my garden built and ready to go for the spring. First thing I've got here is a cold frame, which sort of acts like a mini greenhouse. Originally that door right there came on the front of the house, and I didn't like it because it's not very private. So I took that door off and put up a better one, and I thought, oh, I can make a cold frame out of this door. But then I thought it really didn't have enough glass to let a lot of light through. So I went to the Habitat for Humanity Restore and bought this big glass door here for $20. So if you've got a Habitat for Humanity Restore anywhere near you, you should check it out. Anytime you're doing home improvement stuff, they have great prices on just slightly used stuff, but it's great to recycle and reuse things. So then moving on, I've got 3 8-foot by 4-foot raised beds here. I'm going to be gardening with the square foot garden method by Mel Bartholomew, and I built these and the trellises sort of with the specifications from his book, Square Foot Gardening, and I'll be putting nylon trellis netting up on these 3 trellises here and growing things like tomatoes or cucumbers or pole beans on those trellises. And then I've got a lot of plans for various types of vegetables: peppers, beans, cucumbers. First thing I'm going to be getting going though in the cold frame is some lettuces and spinach and Swiss chard and some root vegetables like beets and carrots and turnips. One of the main advantages of a cold frame is that you can extend your growing season. You can start growing things earlier in the year and keep growing things later in the year. And I've read that even in pretty harsh climates, you could even grow year-round, straight through the winter. Cold hardy leafy greens like spinaches and chard, or collard greens, or kale. Kale's another thing I'm going to get going in here. I've got some seeds started inside right now, but you can grow some of those cold hardy things year-round in one of these, so I'm really excited about that. And this whole process is going to be sort of a trial and error learning experience for me. Hopefully not a lot of error in that trial and error. But in the back of the yard here, I've got a compost pile there on the right. The pile on the left is sod that I had to remove to put the cold frame in. Then I've got a small tool shed there, which eventually is going to be converted into a chicken coop with a sort of a movable chicken run attached to it, so I can move the chickens around the yard here and let them peck and scratch and eat bugs and all that good stuff. And then I got my large workshop type shed right there. So this is it. The first thing I did today was I bought some onion starts at the hardware store last weekend when I was getting all the soil components, and it's a little early. They really shouldn't be put out for about another month. So I got excited about it and I said, oh, I'm going to grab these, and I didn't really think about it through. So today I transplanted them. They came in a little bundle, just sort of like a lot of green onions, and there was some red ones. They're yellow onions and red onions. Candy is the variety. They're very sweet and delicious. But I transplanted them into a few containers and moved them inside, and hopefully I'll just kind of keep those alive and growing slowly for the next month until I can transplant them out here into the main garden. I did put a few of them, I don't know if you can see that, yeah, into the cold frame right there. Little baby onions, just to see how they'll do. If they all die, you know, it was like $4 and there's probably 50 or 60 starts in the bundles there. So I mean, it was a little less than $4 for the 2 bundles of onions. So if they all die, then I'm out a few bucks, and it's not a big deal. I'll go buy some more and start them out here when it's warm enough to. But yeah, those are the plans so far. If anyone's wondering about this soil mix, it's called Mel's Mix, named after Mel Bartholomew, the creator of the Square Foot Gardening Method. And it's 1/3 compost, 1/3 vermiculite, and 1/3 peat moss. And the 1/3 compost is actually supposed to be a blend of 5 different kinds of compost, so that you'll get the most variants of nutrients and vitamins and things like that into the soil. If you use all one kind of compost, you know, most compost is from one source, like your yard waste compost, which is one of the things I used from our local city government here in Springfield, Missouri. They collect all the yard waste from people around the city, and then they compost it all, and then they sell it back to you. But it's all really just leaves and grass clippings, and so while it's good, you're only getting one source of nutrients and stuff. So I used a mix of the yard waste compost from the city, cotton burr compost, cow manure compost, and oh shoot, what was the fourth kind? I can't remember. And then I used some leftover soil I had from last year as my fifth part, because I could really only find 4 parts. Oh, mushroom compost, that was the other part, which is actually a byproduct of the mushroom growing industry. And it's not composted mushrooms, it's actually the compost they use to grow the mushrooms in, and then they discard it after they've grown mushrooms in it once. And then I buy it and put it in my garden. But, so I'm pretty excited. Can't wait. Got lots of different kinds of peppers, got a lot of heirloom seeds and organic seeds. I'm going to be doing this all organic, you know, no pesticides and fertilizers and stuff. The one kind of pesticide I do have that I used last summer in some containers that works pretty well is called neem oil extract. And it is a organic extract from a tree that's just sort of a natural fungicide and herbicide and pesticide, and it will repel insects and such, and it's all organic. So that's sort of all I've got for now. Once I get some more stuff going in the cold frame and maybe get some things growing, we'll give another update. For now, this is Justin, the Ozarks Gardener, signing off. February 14th, Valentine's Day. Bye.